Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. This is Dave. If your first time here, I'm still Dave. It doesn't matter either way, but I appreciate you all for being here. I appreciate you taking your time to stop by. Today we're talking about apples. This year I was very excited. I was able to get a press as well as an apple crusher. I've wanted one of these for a while to make homemade cider and that sort of thing. And I finally got one, and I'm going to test it out today. I guess it's been about 2 weeks ago or so, 3 weeks ago. Went with my son and his fiance, and we went and picked some apples. Some other people picked some apples. I got a half a bushel, which is not a huge amount, probably not as much as you'd think. And we're going to grind those up, and we're going to put them into a bucket here, strain it, and make sure that we get as much impurity out as well as particulates as possible. And we're going to see where we end up. So I'm going to turn you here a little bit. So this is the contraption. This is the grinder. It sits on the top. It will remove once I get the container full and go to press it. And you can see, I'll put the apple in my mouth. Or as I turn this, it turns those gears, and the gears will grind the apples. The press is actually down here. The press will press the juice. It'll come out, and then I've got a bucket here, a 5-gallon bucket, and it's actually got a, let's set that down. It's a 5-gallon bucket. I use it for honey. That's actually what's called a honey gate. It will be nice and easy for filling up smaller containers when I decide what I want to do with everything. And that's sitting down here on a cinder block. So we're going to get started. I've got, like I said, a half a bushel of Liberty apples here. And we're going to, let me give you a couple looks. And what we do is we just drop them right in there, and it's going to start grinding them up, hopefully. And we're going to go from there. I haven't attempted this before. My tripod won't even reach up this high. So you see how the apples are there. So I'm going to have to push those down in. So what I got to do is we got to get the bag in there. The bag will catch the apples, and then the juice will strain out, and that'll get all the particulate matter out. And then we've got to drain it into the bucket, and we'll see where this goes. I am as new to this as you are, so I'll be right back. Thanks. All right, I'm back, and I took the liberty of, I went ahead and crushed the apples without you. It was pretty monotonous. It was basically dropping them into that grinder with the green flywheel you see back there, and grinding them up. It was actually more difficult than I thought. I don't know if anyone has these or has used these before, but really was kind of a two-man job, one to hold the contraption and one to turn the wheel. But I got about half of my apples done so far. The bag that came, this is the bag that came with the press. I don't know if you can see, but it's pretty porous. And I've already noticed that I'm kind of starting to get some chunks that I'm not sure I really want. So we got that down in there. And this is some stuff that's dripping through. So what I did was I took a finer sieve, which is used for honey, put it on top, and that will help catch some of the sediment that's fallen through. So I'm gonna load this up. So what it basically needs now is the handle can't go below this, so we need to stack these blocks in here. And if I don't have enough apple, then I'm gonna have to, I guess, get more apple for the amount of blocks I have. So what we do is we keep stacking these just like this. Oh yeah. Okay, so I was worried that I was going to have ground too much apple and it wouldn't press, but clearly I don't have enough because this is too low. I need to get more apples in the bag to get more volume to come up so that I can actually work the press, and you'll see it better once it's all finished. So I'm gonna grind some more apples. Like I said, it is nothing exciting to watch, and I'll be back with you in just a minute. Well, today you're definitely seeing the good, the bad, and the ugly. So when let me tilt you down here. So you see these blocks, when I've got the whole half bushel of apples now ground up and in the bag, these blocks are to build up before you put the thing you're going to crank down on, because the farthest you can crank down is right here, because then the lever will hit the side here. So I actually, for even a half a bushel of apples, the manufacturer, I'm tilting some here to drain some out. The manufacturer did not give me enough of these blocks to place inside to build up the top. So I've actually had to go over to my workshop and make more blocks. I don't think that's the end of the world. I do kind of feel like a half a bushel apple should be enough, though, that you have enough blocks to actually do that. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. So I've got these extra blocks that I made that I cut off of I actually had a 2x4 that I needed to rip in half or something. I don't remember what it was. And I just used that, and that's what these are. So now I just cut them to length. So now, as you can see, these blocks are all stacked up, and this last block goes on top. And this is the block that the screw fits on. That's just a nylon washer right there to keep it from tearing the metal on metal from tearing each other up. So here we go. You're definitely seeing the good, the bad, and the ugly today. So I've already learned here that the grinder definitely is a two-man operation and probably should be mounted on a bench with a hole underneath it that catches in a bucket. Definitely. And this is meant for very large quantities. So we're going to put this, it's just a lever, in one of these, and we slowly start turning. And as we turn, of course, we're pressing the apples. Now I'm going to spin you around here. Give me 1 second, and put you so you can see the actual cider coming out. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to keep cranking, and hopefully we're going to just keep getting cider. Again, I've got it going through a it goes through the bag, which is rather porous in my opinion. I would want something that is a little, I may end up buying something that's a little bit more filtery. So I'm going to keep cranking, and we're going to see what we can get out of this, and I will let you know at the end. We've still got a ways to go, and everyone that I have talked to ever who does this says you really need to press it once, relax it, let it sit for a few minutes, and then press it again, and you'll actually get a fair amount more juice. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll be back with you in a little bit. Okay, you'll be glad you stayed till the end here. We're all done. We actually pressed it 3 times, and we have got, there's what we got. Probably about a gallon, maybe a gallon and a half. You can see it's dark. And I'm going to try a little experiment. Tell me if you know how this might turn out. I have 2 half-gallon mason jars here that are, each one has a dollop or a glob, and yes, that's an official term, of honey in them. And we're going to take this cider and we're going to fill each one up. That's probably about good. Want to leave a little bit of head space. And we're going to set that right down there. And then I'm going to do the other one. And these two jugs, we're going to go ahead and set them inside. And put a fermentation lock on each one. And I wonder what will happen in about a month or so. You can put in the comments if you think you know. And that's about, slack gallon of whatever that concoction's going to be. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Live and learn, because I certainly was. The press was effective. I mean, a half gallon of apples, I've still got a little bit in there even with having poured out. Half gallon of apples, I got probably right around, or a half bushel of apples, excuse me, I got about a gallon of really heavy juice. Little bit difficult to grind them up. Like I said earlier, definitely a two-person job, definitely a job that I could have used having the grinder mounted to a bench, and that's my not knowing exactly what I was doing here, but that's the whole point of the channel, is to learn. But as far as the press one, I thought it went great. I'd certainly do it again. We're probably going to go pick apples again in 2 weeks. I think they've got one left called Gold Rush, which is, last year I actually ended up making and canning applesauce with that. It was really good. It's got like a nice tart sweet mix. So I'm not sure if I'll do more of this, but I may do so depending on how the apples look and how many we pick. So that's what I got for you. This is Dave. As always, be safe, be prepared, and I'll see you on the next video. Please like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing, and I really do appreciate that you took the time to spend with me. Thank you very much.